In today's episode of the Fallout Lore Reaction Series, we're checking out the shocking vaults of Fallout New Vegas from Gaming Harry. I don't know why I'm not subscribed to this guy right now. I'm subscribed, and I'm going to give it a like because I already know it's going to be a banger. And after this one, I'll probably check out the video of all of the Fallout vaults by a different guy, not Gaming Harry. But we'll check that out. We'll check that one out next time.
As promised, here is the...
Why is this in terrible quality?
As promised, here is the follow-up
okay,
to my story explain video on Fallout
itself.
New Vegas. In this one, we'll be looking at the lore behind the vaults of New Vegas, or should I say, the vaults of the Mojave. I won't be going into the original origins of the vaults and Vault-Tech's goals, as I've already covered that in my Vaults of Fallout 3 video, but in summary, Vault-Tech created these vaults to be human experiments, or you could say social experiments, survival of the fittest. I'm not going to waffle on too much, so we're going to dive straight in, but please be aware that before continuing on, there will be spoilers in this video for Fallout New Vegas and some of the DLCs too.
No shit.
Alright, so let's begin with Vault 3. Vault 3 was considered a control vault, and what this meant...
This is the third vault of all of the vaults.
...was that a vault was run, well, according to its purpose, to sustain human life in the event of global nuclear destruction. The vault itself did well, it thrived, and that wasn't...
Is there any vault that actually, like, did exactly what it was supposed to a T? I guess we'll find out in this series whenever we go over the every single vault in the Fallout universe.
Until the 2200s, when a water leak sprang inside the vault, flooding the entire lower area of the vault. This forced the vault dwellers to open the vault up in order to seek help from the unknown, the outside world. Exiting, they realized that everything was okay. They began trading with the surrounding community.
Well, okay is a stretch.
But this good fortune only lasted a couple of weeks.
Yeah, see?
A gang of chem-addicted raiders known as fiends would show up,
desperate
desperate for things to steal and sell so that they could feed their chem habit. The fiends rather cunningly blagged their way into the vault and turned on the vault dwellers, killing...
After reacting to all this Fallout New Vegas lore, it makes me want to play it again. Man, but I gotta play Fallout 3 again first. Because I've played Fallout New Vegas recently, and I have not played Fallout 3 in years. Like, before COVID. I think I need to play it again.
...them all and taking the vault for themselves. And this was now the Fiends' new hideout. In reality, the Fiends were at war with a militia called the West Side Militia, who were led by Clayton Etienne and Tom Anderson. They also have a super mutant loyal to them called Mean Son of a Bitch, who has claimed the lives of many of the Fiends' gang. The Fiends' leader, Motor Runner, helped the Fiends stay safe inside the vault. Because of their impenetrable vault hideout, the Fiends were able to terrorize the surrounding communities of New Vegas and the communities of the New California Republic. They'd even built a cell and would kidnap and imprison...
We're gonna be doing some videos about the New California Republic and the Enclave and all these people, all these gangs, and probably gonna do... I'm gonna do all the factions. Powder Gangers, the Fiends, whatever factions are in Fallout 3, Brotherhood of Steel... You know, all these types of people. I don't remember who's in Fallout 3. We're even going to get to Fallout 4, because I actually do love Fallout 4. A lot of people don't, but we'll be getting to that one.
People from the surrounding communities inside the vault. The NCR would put out hit contracts on notorious Fiend members such as Violet, Cook, and Driver Nephi, all high-ranking members. The Courier can choose to complete these contracts for the NCR, and doing so severely weakens the Fiends. The Courier can then go to Vault 3 with a contract to take out the final Fiend.
Can you side with them? Can you side with the Fiends? Can you talk to them? I don't know. I think I might need to play an evil character to find out. That'd be cool.
Motor Runner.
Last time I played Fallout New Vegas, I annihilated absolutely everybody. Nobody liked me. The good guys and the bad guys.
Time to dive into probably the most disturbing and messed up Vault-Tech experiment in the Fallout series.
Ooh.
Vault 11. Whilst exploring the central mountain region of the Mojave, the Courier can come across a vault which is hidden within a hollowed out rock. Vault 11's purpose was an experiment that would determine the vault dwellers' willingness to sacrifice a member of their vault every year.
Dude, why is this in such bad quality? I have to fix that. 720p 60. I don't think this video was in 720p. It was probably 720p upscaled to 1080. That's what it seems like to me. Maybe I need to refresh. I'm at 243. Okay. Where's 243? Right there. Put it on 1080. Maybe that'll make things a little better.
In order to ensure the future and survival of their vault.
Not really.
To coerce
this video is just in low quality.
them into doing this, the vault dwellers of Vault 11 were led to believe that they would be killed by the vault's mainframe if an annual sacrifice was not offered up. So something messed up would happen over the next couple of decades. Of course, the first overseer knew all about the vault's true purpose. The vault dwellers weren't happy about deception, and naturally they chose him as the first sacrifice. Annual overseer elections would then be held to determine who the next overseer or sacrifice should be, and naturally the candidates had to do everything they could in order to convince their fellow vault dwellers why they should not be elected. Voting blocks emerged, and these blocks would attempt to influence voting, and this included the creation of...
I hate Kate. Okay. Yeah, this seems like typical elections that we have today in America.
Propaganda and flyers, which would be plastered all over the vault. The elected overseer would then, at the end of their term, open up the passageway underneath the overseer's office and would then die a horrible death. This process of elections would continue for years until something changed in 2093. The voting system was overhauled, and the 6 voting blocks, named the Allied Service Workers Block, the Divine Will Block.
This sounds like Nazis. You know, it sounds like some Nazi stuff's going on.
Block, the Human Dignity Block, the Justice Block, the United Vault Technicians Block, and the Utilitarian Block came together and formed a coalition, creatively naming it the Coalition of Vault 11 Voting Blocks.
Yeah, it seems like some Nazi stuff.
Then came the person that would become the last overseer of Vault 11. Now, as expected, corruption grew under this new coalition of voting blocks, and the leader of the most powerful block, the Justice Block, Roy Gottlieb, had a personal beef with a man named Nathan Stone, and was seriously considering nominating him to be the new overseer. This beef stemmed from the fact that Nathan was on a hot streak after winning many games of poker, and Roy wanted Nathan dealt with. But Roy was a twisted bloke. He forced Nathan's wife, Catherine, into having sexual relations with him, and she went along with it as...
Dude, all these politicians are always crazy, degenerate freaks. Every time, even in the Fallout universe, they know what's up.
...the means of saving her husband's
life. They know how these people operate.
The Justice Block,
that's just good writing.
Being as influential as they were, would pretty much ensure that Nathan would be elected. But another shocking thing was that Catherine wasn't just forced to sleep with Roy, but with all the Justice Block members and their friends.
Bro, that's so crazy.
After the Justice Block chose Nathan anyway, Catherine went on a killing spree and murdered members of the block.
Yep, she straight up went Day of the Woman, I spit on your grave style.
A retribution. She went on trial, and as expected, Catherine was elected as the new overseer in Nathan's place. Catherine immediately got to work. She enacted something called Overseer Order 745, and this brought an end to the elections themselves. Instead, a computer would choose the next overseer at random. This made it fair, but this didn't sit well with what remained of the Justice Block at all, since they themselves could be elected.
Yeah, I don't think that elections are supposed to be fair. I don't think it's supposed to be anybody could be elected leader for any reason. Like, no. For no reason in this case, literally because the robot selected by random. That's crazy. People are elected leaders for a reason. Even if they just use propaganda and trick everybody into being the leader. Like, I think that's better than just choosing at random.
And also they feared losing their power and influence over the people, so they plotted.
She can't do this. It's done. We're done.
1000% cooked.
Nothing's done. She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still
Damn
have
it,
the
Roy.
majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting.
So true.
You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike?
No, this is war!
Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah!
Come on. I mean it.
Based? Base? I mean, I wouldn't do this in real life, but if I was in this situation, like in a Fallout vault, definitely based?
What? Start a revolution?
Yes.
laws don't outlast their government.
You say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world.
Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look.
You always have to. If that's what you have on your mind, that's what it's gonna end up being.
We arm up. We go to the lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water. Just until she turns authority over to us. The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power. We have the majority. We don't need them. Vote, Roy. They'll fight back.
Yeah, you're sparking a war within your vault, man.
They've never had the nerve. Hell of a way to test it.
A fight broke out in Vault 11 as a result of the Justice Block's attempted coup, and it was so bloody that only 5 people survived.
Damn.
These 5 people had had enough and went into
They downsized, I guess. They don't need elections if there's only 5 of them.
the sacrificial chamber underneath the Overseer's office and confronted the mainframe. They refused to carry out any more sacrifices. But then, a message played out.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault 11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all.
Dude, that's so fucked. That is so fucked. Vault Tech, come on, man.
And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news.
You didn't have to sacrifice people the entire time.
Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault 11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience. Instead, the mechanism to open the main vault door has now been enabled, and you can come and go at your leisure. But not so fast. Be sure to check with your overseer to find out if it's safe to leave. Here at Vault Tech,
What overseer? What overseer?
your safety is our #1 priority.
What the fuck, man? Yeah, that's so fucked up. Your safety is our #1 priority. We're going to force you to sacrifice your members, but actually we tricked you. You didn't actually have to the entire time.
Devastated and realizing that they didn't even need to carry out all these sacrifices,
Yeah,
the 5 remaining
that's
Vault dwellers
crazy.
discussed what they should do next.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have been sacrificing, they would have opened the door. Is that really what was going on here? But they knew that people would until a certain point when they've had enough. So they opened it just in time. Because if they would have opened it too early, then everybody would have died anyway, which, like, they wouldn't have cared. Vault Tech, they wouldn't have cared.
Are we really gonna do this? It's open. We could just leave.
I couldn't. Not after that.
We don't deserve to leave.
A shining example. That's what it called us. But we were. We did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot.
You didn't do what you were supposed to as humans. You did what you were supposed to according to what Vault Tech wanted you to do.
Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem.
Yep.
Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first.
Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out.
Well, the courier found out.
Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, wait!
Everybody dead? They all died? There's only one survivor left? Killed everybody?
Now, there was one apparent lone survivor, but it's not explained what happened to this survivor.
Dude, everybody just, like, killed each other and themselves. That's crazy.
But that is the messed up story of Vault 11.
That's pretty messed up, man.
In an
Vault
area
19.
teeming with fire geckos, the courier can come across the entrance to Vault 19. Inside the vault, they encountered 2 people of interest, 2 former convicts who broke out of the NCR correctional facility. Samuel Cook, the
I usually completely take over the NCR correctional facility.
Man who led the Powder Gang's escape from the prison, and Philip Lem, a thief who escaped with Cook and many other convicts. Their reason for being in prison is not important, but the two are at odds. We'll get to the reason as to why shortly. Vault 19 was unlucky enough to be chosen to contain yet another human experiment.
Yep.
Segregation. This was designed to induce severe paranoia into the residents. The vault was actually split into two sides, red and blue, each with its own overseer.
I don't know if I remember this one. I don't remember this vault.
Now, it's unclear as to how this was carried out, but one terminal entry written by a young child details how they, and other children, were hearing high-pitched noises.
Is it another vault where they were controlling people's minds with sound?
Doctor for the vault, who was a neutral, neither red nor blue, saw patients who claimed to be hearing things too. And in terminal entries, it seems that the blues suspected that the reds were creeping around and were up to something, and vice versa.
Yeah, instead of messing with everybody with like music and stuff, they were just dividing people. That's crazy.
Suspicions of spying and plotting were common. One blue.
It's like they took the idea from that Fallout 3 vault and just made it worse. But in a good way for like writing purposes. Like as a consumer consuming this fucking amazing writing. I love it.
Blue vault dweller even considered the lights flickering in the hallway to be the reds communicating via Morse code. Another dweller found a sunset sarsaparilla blue star bottle cap and thought it could be the reds' attempt at mind control. The residents then gained access to the doctor's terminal and they assumed that she'd been drugging them. They noticed that they were getting headaches after air was being blasted through the vents for 5 minutes at a time. Truth is that the people responsible for these things were not the vault dwellers, but the two overseers who were being directed by Vault Tech themselves as they
Two overseers? That's crazy.
were observing the experiment. The vault itself was actually located on top of some sulfur caves. This was the cause of the headaches that the vault dwellers thought was the opposite side poisoning them. The sulfur was leaking into the ventilation system, and obviously this only made their paranoia grow. The vault dwellers likely ended up killing each other or were killed by the fire geckos.
Oh, I do remember this place now because I recognize this cave.
The geckos inhabit the sulfur caves, and part of the vault have collapsed as well, but that's pretty much all we know about the vault. In terms of the reason why Cook and Lem are at odds, well, basically Cook wants to stay in the vault, and this is because the sulfur deposits in the caves can be helpful to him, as he can use the sulfur to make bombs. Lem, however, believes that they won't survive long in the vault and should turn themselves over to the NCR. The courier has a choice. He can either clear out the fire geckos for Cook and Lem, but where it differs is that the courier can help Cook by just clearing out the geckos, but can blow up the caves containing the sulfur deposits, blocking access to them and forcing them to leave the vault as there's no reason for them to be there anymore. The courier can also convince them to join the Grey Khans or surrender to the NCR.
Don't know if I've actually done that. I'm like, oh man, I don't remember these characters. Like, did I accidentally kill them or something? Vault 21.
So Vault 21 was located in downtown Las Vegas.
They have a hotel of it? That's crazy.
This experiment was a strange one, but one that was in keeping with its locale. You see, all of the residents were treated as equals, and as the number of the vault suggests, any disputes or disagreements were resolved through gambling. The winner of the game, who would
This is like Kakegurui, but in a vault? That's cool.
be a chosen representative, would be the winner of the disagreement.
Did I not go through this one either? I don't remember this vault.
Issues were essentially being solved through chance.
Like, I didn't do everything in Fallout New Vegas. I beat it, and then I stopped playing it. And last time I played it, that was the first time I beat it. Like, actually beat it, did all the DLC and stuff. But I didn't go through and finish everything. Maybe I'll set it up to where I will do that.
During their time in the Vault 21 vault dwellers were contacted out of the blue by Mr. House, who, remember, had used his considerable influence and technology to ensure that Las Vegas was largely untouched by the nuclear bombs that rained down on America in 2077. He was to rebuild Vegas and offered the vault dwellers a chance to be included in his vision. A lot of the residents were unconvinced, and other residents wanted to accept the offer. So, as explained earlier, this conundrum meant one thing: a high-stakes game of blackjack. The representative of the residents who wanted to accept the
Yeah, I don't remember this vault.
offer won, of course, and ventured
I've been to a few of the vaults. There's only two left that I've definitely been to the last two vaults.
outside the vault. Mr. House then ordered the entire vault to be filled with concrete. A woman named Sarah Weintraub put the idea to Mr. House that she would like to establish a hotel in the vault to offer an authentic vault experience. So House allowed her to use the upper levels whilst filling the lower levels with concrete as planned. One of the vault dwellers who resettled in the Mojave was Doc Mitchell, who resides in Good Springs.
I didn't know that he was a vault dweller. What? That's crazy.
And who treated the courier after they were shot in the head and left for dead by Benny. Speaking of Benny, this leads us on to House's motive for sealing off the vault. If Benny flees during his and the courier's meeting in the Tops Casino, an elevator leads to a sub-basement which leads to Vault 21.
What?
Vault 21...
Okay, that's why I've never been here. Because I always end up either killing Benny or like straight up siding with him and then not doing this. I had no idea. Holy shit, I gotta do this.
Network actually leads to the Lucky 38, and if you've played the story, Benny wanted to get into the Lucky 38 with the platinum chip in order to upload Yes Man onto the mainframe. Explosives left behind even
I end up usually doing that. I usually end up replacing House with Yes Man.
support that fact. Therefore, House did manage to restrict Benny's access to the Lucky 38, but it was more likely that he didn't want anyone knowing about or using this hidden tunnel network. But that's pretty much it for Vault 21.
Okay, there wasn't much to that one. Vault 22.
Vault 22 is a little bit different. This vault was not designed to house a civilian population. Instead, it was home to crop experimentation. This was an experiment
I remember this one. This one was scary.
carried out prior to the Great War and was a way to try and combat potential global hunger. Despite the war and global destruction in '77, the scientists inside the vault continued their work and research. They instead looked at how to build on their vault population using the plants as a way to sustain themselves. Different crops and plants would be donated to Vault 21's researchers, but one of these donations contained a rather sinister potential. It was called Bavaria mordicana. It was a fungus. It was actually developed at the Big MT, the Big Mountain Research Facility, at the X-22 battalion.
Oh yeah, there are more vaults, aren't there, in the DLCs? I didn't know. Okay, so the next video, we're probably gonna get into the DLC vaults too.
Botanical Garden, and it was shared with, you guessed it, Vault-Tec. The researchers at Big MT and Vault-Tec knew that this fungus possessed the capability of infecting human subjects, as they had a subject at X-22, referred to as Patient Zero. They discovered that the body which was dead had been taken over by the fungus, and the fungus had taken control of the body. Back in the vault, the scientists
basically plant zombies.
And researchers had pretty much been condemned thanks to this fungus. The spores from the fungus spread through the vault, and the first to be infected was a scientist named Dr. Harrison Peters, who went on to document his symptoms. After it had entered the lungs of the subject, chills, fever, and a horrible cough would follow soon after. The subject would then succumb to organ failure. As with Patient Zero, the body would then reanimate and would become what was known as a spore carrier, and these spore carriers would spread more spores and infect more people. It didn't take long for this infection to spread through the vault. The vault dwellers attempted to get rid of the problem by igniting gas in the lower levels, but this did not work, and leftover survivors of the vault would eventually be forced out and would leave, fleeing to Zion Canyon. This was seen through Deadeye Ricky in the Honest Hearts DLC,
Damn Zionists.
who was wearing both a
I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
Pit Boy and a Vault 21 jumpsuit, and falsely claimed to be a surviving member of the Vault. Anyway, the survivors would eventually end up massacring a load of Mexican refugees, but most of the Vault survivors, if not all of them, were infected by the fungus as they developed an aggressive cough, as documented by a former US soldier, Randall Clark. Many of the Vault 22 survivors died as a result of infection. When the carrier happens upon the Vault, it's overgrown, overrun by plant life. The spore carriers would infect many other people who entered the Vault, creating more carriers. The NCR's Office of Science and Industry would send a ghoul named Keely to investigate the vault, but she got trapped there. The courier can help her out by obtaining non-harmful samples and by igniting a gas leak in the vault, destroying the remaining spores inside.
I think this is the vault that I remembered the most from Fallout New Vegas.
But now onto the final vault.
Woo! Vault 34.
Vault 34 contained another social experiment, and this one was to overstock the vault with weapons and ammo. The vault was fine until it started to become overpopulated. Naturally, having the vault so heavily stocked with ways the residents could murder one another, the Overseer at the time installed a lock on the armory. Naturally, and true to the Overseer's fears, the residents demanded access to the armory in the interest of being able to defend themselves. This led to riots, and a large group of residents gained access to the armory. This group then left the vault and settled at Nellis Air Force Base, where they would become known as the Boomers. The Boomers would detail their history via a mural on the wall at the base. Another one of the
Okay, Boomer.
people who left the vault was a man named Chris Harrison, a man who, due to his many trips to tinker with the vault's reactor,
Isn't that the guy who thinks he's a ghoul?
believed he would become a ghoul because of the radiation he'd absorbed. But he got laughed at and ridiculed by his fellow vault dwellers for this notion. However, he didn't go to the Air Force Base with the Boomers. He instead joined up with a cult of ghouls called the Bright Brotherhood, led by Jason Bright.
Yeah, I remember these guys.
He was laughed at by them too, but behind his back. He believed that he was becoming a ghoul, but was very much human. He would assist the Bright Brotherhood in their attempts to fly into space using the rockets at the Repcon test site. But back in the vault, things were about to kick off. The Overseer, in an attempt to prevent anyone else from leaving, put armed guards on the exits, effectively making it seem to the residents that they were now living under a dictatorship. It didn't help that population control was a priority now, and this led to a coup. But this didn't serve its intended purpose, as the rioters damaged key infrastructure such as the vault's reactor, along with the vault's mainframe. A team of scientists and engineers attempted to fix the reactor, but this failed. The radiation levels inside the vault would reach high levels because of the damaged reactor, and everyone inside would become ghoulified by the rads. The massive amounts of radiation also affected nearby NCR cropper farms, as it was spreading into the ground around the farms. But that is pretty much it for the vaults of the Mojave. These ones were pretty enjoyable to explore and uncover the lore for.
Dude, best Fallout game. Best Fallout game. Didn't really have the best vaults. I think that the plant one is pretty fucking cool. But the rest of them are just meh. I think Fallout 3 might have the best vaults. But it doesn't matter. Fallout New Vegas is such a better game than Fallout 3. But Fallout 3 is still a fucking amazing game.
Some of these were pretty messed up, but my favourite one to uncover was Vault 11 and the Overseer election sacrifices.
I don't remember that one. But I don't think it's as cool as the one with the zombie plants.
Let me know your favourite vault from Fallout New Vegas down in the comments below. Now I'm going to get cracking on Fallout 4. There's lots to explore. If you enjoyed this little...
After we watch the video about all the vaults from every Fallout game, then we're going to get into some Fallout 4 lore, and then we're going to dive deep into the factions of the Fallout universe. And like, what they are in the first Fallout and what they become in Fallout 4, if they're even still in Fallout 4. Some of them they aren't mentioned, so it'll be stopping in the earlier games. But you know, like, comment, and subscribe. Ding the bell for all the notifications. I'll see you in the next one.